What's up, guys? It's Caliber here,
And the Beast.
And I'm Hell.
and it is Modmouth. Sorry we didn't do
Mama.
Modmouth on Saturday. Beast was visiting family because his birthday just passed.
Yes. Yes, it did.
And you were where, Beast?
I was in Athens, the basically where Ohio University is. It's basically the college town.
Yeah. So
Yep.
what you got for Modmouth, Beast?
I was gonna do my 1 week review on the Vandy Vape Pulse 80 watt, and I got a new tip while I was down in Athens too.
That is pretty. That is very pretty. All right. So I haven't bought anything lately, so there's that. I could do a review on the Naked 100 Maui's son.
There you go.
But Beast do his review first.
Okay. Well,
He's technically still the birthday boy.
yay. Yeah. Guess that. Guess that's cool. Anyway, um, I think this is like a really good mod, obviously for like single coil that I've come. Obviously just because it only goes to 80 watts anyway, and I want to get the curve for it eventually, the recurve. I think that'd be kind of an awesome combination, don't you think?
Yeah, but believe it or not, my vape shop actually got the recurve RDA.
Yeah, I think you were saying that earlier. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
nifty.
As well as the Geek Vape Aegis. Or Aegis? Aegis? I don't know.
Aegis. I know what you're
I think
talking,
it's
but I
Aegis.
never. Aegis. Gotcha. But this one's got like the nice carbon fiber, like with the silver accent, which I think is kind of neat. Um, Actually, with the 2700 in it, it actually lasts quite a bit of time. I think it actually lasts longer than the original Pulse did.
What's your resistance at?
This one right here is zero point 0.2.
Point 0.2. Yeah, that seemed about fair. And your wattage?
75.
Yeah, that's decent.
I mean, I went all day. Mind you, this is the same battery that I was rocking in that, and I've been basically vaping on it all day. I just had changed it just like when I got home, so yeah, it holds pretty good battery life. The Squonk bottle is a lot better design. Um, I really like the little notch handle it's got there. I wonder if it's, might just take out the bottle, might be better. But it's got that little thing where you can kind of grasp it, and then the top part is what comes off right here. This little top part, twist on the top there. It's like notched, and that comes off, and you still have that attached right there.
Yeah,
And then
so
he
that's
just goes in the
definitely a better
straw.
design.
Oh yeah, I mean like you don't have that. I mean like, granted, if you have like bigger hands like me, it's a little bit small. I mean like you kind of press on a little bit, but not as bad as it was like with the other one where it was just absolutely just goes everywhere, and you're just like, oh, juice is just
Trying to hurry
everywhere.
up and shove it onto that little
Yeah,
nipple.
yeah. This one is not too bad. Like it actually that with that little bit of cone at the top, it kind of actually feeds right in there real perfectly, and you don't have to really kind of. It's no like guesswork. Harley takes out that. It's still got that the materials like still like that nice little textured feel to it. I mean, if I had to, I mean like if I gave a good review for the original Pulse, I would definitely have to give this one a better one. That's basically my review on that. It's like it's definitely a definite improvement.
Yeah.
At least
So
in
one
my
thing I wanted to ask you about the 80-watt pulse is, all right. So the issue I had with the regular Pulse's Squonk bottle is when you would try to pull the bottle out, you would end up pulling the tube a little bit. Do you have that issue with this?
No, I don't. And the reason is because when you pull it, it's not really you're not really pulling down like the other one. The other one you kind of pulled it at an angle, and it still did kind of like a because the tube was a little longer, so it kind of went like at a yanking motion.
Mm-hmm.
This one, when you pull down on it, it's actually more at an angle, so you're more just kind of like flipping it off. It's not really it's barely on the It's basically this is like it's just the tube itself is just as long as the actual like the nipple part of it. So once you get that like where the tube is, and you stick that on there, it's that's just as long as it is. So you don't have like any like pulling issue, and it looks like the resistance on the actual like lid or the cap, it's got a better resistance on it, so it actually keeps a hold of the tube better.
Well, that's good. Is that it for you?
Yeah, yeah,
All
I
right.
think that's
So I picked this up actually a couple days ago. See, here's the thing with juices: you can actually give yourself a couple days, or you don't even have to give yourself a couple days. If you immediately try a juice and you like the flavor of it, go ahead and do a review. By all means. You don't have to. It's not like mods where you have to constantly test them, see if any problems arise within that 1 week period. If you don't like a juice, it tastes like shit to you, give a review on it. So, as you can
Actually,
see, go ahead.
I found the longer I use a juice, the more I hate it.
The reason for that being, do you want me to answer why that is?
Sure.
The reason for that being is it's called vapor's tongue. After a certain point, you pretty much vape so much that your taste buds become accustomed to the juice and you can't taste the juice anymore.
No, even when I like switch between juices, like just the longer I have a juice, the more I dislike it. I don't know if that's just a me thing, or I just the longer I have something, the more I don't like it.
Yeah, me and a lot of people are like that.
that could be a steeping thing too.
Yeah,
Oh,
What?
steeping. It's where you put your juice in I think it's a dark, cool place for
mhm.
a couple of days, and then it's supposed to
Oh.
make the flavors mingle together.
Yeah.
Especially, it's
Oh,
best to
I
do.
keep mine on a dark shelf.
Well, it's good to steep your juices, and it typically, like with pre-made juices like this, they're usually already steeped. But when it comes to vape shop juices, you want to let that stuff sit a little bit longer, because you don't know how fresh that batch actually is.
I feel you.
But going back to the juice, so I got this. What was it? Friday? Was it Friday, babe? So I got it Friday. As you guys can see, I've been vaping the hell out of it because I'm going to say this, I love it. All right, so I'm definitely getting a lot of tropical fruits, mainly pineapple. Is it pineapple? Some kind of reminds me of like pineapples and coconuts. That's what I'm getting from it. It's supposed to be, um, I think
Like a pina
pineapple with,
colada,
huh?
like a pina colada maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Ooh,
Is it a
nice.
vacation in a
That's good.
bottle?
Huh?
Is it a vacation in a bottle?
No, it's not. I think. Oh wait, it says right here, pineapple, oranges, and tangerines are like a darker orange, right? So yeah, it's oranges and tangerines, but it smells like a pina colada. It smells good. Definitely something I would use as an air freshener. Not you guys. How many of you actually heard me say that before? I've said it a lot on this. When I like a juice, I would use it as an air freshener. It's been a while since I said that. So this is what I'm experiencing. So I'll go off my memory from when I first vaped it. It was absolutely amazing. I could taste the pineapples with a little bit hint of orange and tangerine. So the flavor's perfect. But what I'm experiencing right now is what I just talked about because I've been vaping this so much and a lot, and this happens when you vape it a lot. You do get vapor tongue and you can't taste the juice anymore, unless I put down the vape for a couple of hours. Like say I'm fishing, I put down the vape for a couple of hours and I haven't vaped, and I come back and then I can taste the juice again, or if I brush my teeth. But I do give the flavor an 8 out of 10. It's a really good juice. It's not something I would vape every day, or not every day, but it's not something I would vape a lot. Just because it's, I'm going to be honest, with the 6 milligrams of nicotine, it is a harsher juice. And another reason for that being is it is a 70-30 blend, which I'll get into here in a second. But let's go ahead and get to everybody's favorite portion of this. Clouds. This is at 60, or actually 53 watts. Actually, I could taste a little bit of flavor there. So yeah, with it being 70-30, obviously 70 VG, 30 PG, so the PG to VG ratio is different compared to what I'm normally vaping, which is an 80-20, and that's what I prefer, 80-20, just because I run drippers. But 70-30s are excellent in tanks. Now, with the higher VG, because not VG, with PG being a little bit higher than, say, an 80-20, you're going to have a little bit more of a throat hit, along with the 6 milligrams of nicotine. And that's all this. I'm going to tell you guys where I bought this. I'm not ashamed. Literally $20 at a gas station. I know in the past we talked about staying away from gas station juices, but if they sell something like this, like Naked 100, or some of the premium lines, and it's at a decent price, buy it. If it's all you have, buy it. If you can't get to a vape shop, and that's all you can do, buy it. I say the same thing about Walmart. And yes, Walmart does sell vapes, or at least the one down here sells mods for $40-something, and they also sell the Hoss juice. Is there anything you wanted to say, babe? Or are you just putting something down? Oh, drinking water. But the clouds, I give it a 7 out of 10. I've had better juices and I've had worse juices. So something that's been really bugging me, and that's it for that juice review. I know it's the shortest juice review I ever did, and there's not much you can say about a juice. But something that's been bugging me, and this is a really good subject to mod mouth. When are mod manufacturers, when they come out with these kits, when are they going to actually start including RDAs instead of tanks?
No idea.
Huh?
No idea.
Don't you think they should? I'm not saying, like, always include RDAs, but come out with a kit that has an RDA. Don't limit it to the squonk kits.
I feel like they could probably, like, take the AL85, for example, just because that's, like, the only kit I have that came with the tank. If it was that versus one that cost, like, I don't know, $40 more, no, obviously my prices are higher than yours.
Yeah.
If I had to choose between an AL85 with a tank or an AL85 with an RDA, I probably would have spent the extra money and went for the RDA.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good opportunity. Is there any gripes that you have or something that you're wondering, Beast?
No, I mean, I totally agree. I think, like you said, it seems to be the squonk mods. I mean, like, obviously they come with, like, and that's what they're for. But I mean, I think it would be nice to have like a dual 18650 like regulated mod that came with like a RDA or even any variation of that. It seems to be a lot of people want to like boast about RDAs, like like at least within the circles of vaping, but they don't really. The vape manufacturers, they don't want to kind of push their. I mean, they have really good. RDAs on the market, which they can either pair with something they have, or even companies they come out like us. I don't know if really Smog has any like good RDAs, but
I don't think Smog's ever came out with an RDA. I think they're just.
I don't think so either. But I mean, like Geek Vape, right? Geek Vape has like, I mean, they pretty much like got their hands pretty much on everything. I mean, you'd figure they'd come out with like one of theirs with an RDA. Instead of just their squonk line. I mean, that would be kind of interesting.
I mean, if we want to be fair, I have the radar, and that comes with the G box. So I mean, yes, but it's still a squonk. We want for us drippers, and she's a dripper as well. we don't suffice tanks anymore. I honestly I like tanks. They're
Oh
convenient.
yeah. Oh
But to
yes, sir.
me, in my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion, you can disagree with it, tanks are useless.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they're convenient, but they're just as convenient. Like it saves like you. It's almost like running out of like what you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I ran out of this. I need to use something real quick. What can I grab real quick? You know, that's kind of what a tank to me is. It's kind of like, oh shoot, I need something really bad. So let me use this tank real quick. Um, that's what kind of a tank is to me. It's kind of like a definitely not my first option. Let's put it that way. It's kind of like a, oh crap, I need something at this point in time.
You know, and I see a lot of and I'm not knocking you tank users, but I see a lot of tank users out there, and I'm thinking to myself, and I've told Beast this, and the same goes for squonks, but I'd prefer to use a squonk over a tank any day. Besides the point, when you have, say, a squonk or a tank goes through way too much e-liquid, especially when you're getting into the sub-ohm. Like, I use a lot of e-liquid, but I'm also constantly vaping to kind of alleviate my nerves. People can make fun of me for that. I fucking care. It's the reason why I use nicotine, but I vape a lot to alleviate my nerves. I have medication for that. I'm currently out, and I'm not able to fill it because my stupid fucking pharmacy's like, oh, you need a new prescription. So now I have to wait till I go back to my doctor to get that prescription. So, fun times. But I find I go through way more juice in a tank, and I could actually prove this concept because I have, where is it? Take the what tank is that? What tank is that? Where's the box for it? Oh, the shit. Here it is. The nunchaku, for example. I went through a lot of juice with that tank, and it's ridiculous. That's why I ran out of the what is it called? The surf e-liquid. Oh fuck! Don't get me started on the fucking cloud beast. Those tanks are atrocious when it comes to fucking guzzling juice.
Okay,
You ain't lying.
I don't even vape that much, and I can tell you that my Baby Beast uses way more juice than my Pulse does.
Oh yeah, by far, by far. You know, I think, you know, honestly, you know, we're talking about having like kits with like RDAs, which I think is a great idea. But you know, I'd even suffice if they would even do like an RTA.
Yeah, that would be that. Would see that's. But I can understand where they're coming from, including tanks with the kits and everything, is because they're appealing to new people. But it's like, give something to
Yeah.
us veterans over here.
Right. It's like we like kits too.
Oh, I fucking love kits.
Right. It's like you get like two things in one. It's like who doesn't like that? That's just my opinion.
I will say it time and time again. Running an RTA, whether you want to believe it or not, is a hell of a lot cheaper than running a tank.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
I'm
granted,
like,
yeah, you have to buy. Well, you don't have to buy a wire. You can buy pre-mades, but you can buy wire. You can buy cotton. You don't need all these fancy tools that you see like Rip Tripper. Actually, Rip Tripper doesn't even use fancy tools. All right, here's a better one. You don't need all the fancy tools Beast has.
right. But here's the thing. It's like the
Sorry
thing
to throw you
about
under the bus like that, Beast.
no, no, it's cool. I mean, that's fine. I mean, like I have tools because I prefer them, but um, no shame in my game. But but the thing is, I you can run a coil until it gets messed up. I mean, like physically. I mean, you know, if you keep it like cleaned every now and then and all that jazz, you don't have to worry about getting another one. You just have to put cotton in it every now and then. You know, this is where if it either burns off or freaking just gets so saturated it ain't gonna take anymore. And you know, considering the price of a coil head, you burn that cotton up. What are you left with? You got to get a whole brand new coil head. With an RDA, You burn the cotton up. Okay, you just put more cotton in. No big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, like, yeah, it's definitely a cheaper route. Um, and like you said, you can buy pre-mades or you can, I mean, whatever you want to do. But I mean, that coil you put in there is unless you either a physically damage it or it freaking like does like gets like hot spots in it to where it kind of like fuses out or something like that. It'll run for a while. It'll run for a heck of a long time.
I see guys who change out their coils. I think it's like every month, and I'm thinking to myself, you can run those coils a hell of a lot longer than that.
You can.
I've had this for this RDA for 3 months now, something like that. I
Yeah.
haven't changed the building, and I just cleaned my cotton. I mean, over time, yes, your coil will get weaker as clean
Oh,
it,
yeah.
pulse it, heat it up, and it's just going to get weaker and weaker. But the maintenance required on these are a lot less than saying have to change out your coil head every 3 days. And I've seen small coil heads that last only 3 days, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
what the fuck? I personally had that experience happen to me.
Oh, I've had it. I mean, that's the pleasures of having a cloud beast.
The clouds are amazing in a cloud beast, but it's just a garbage tank. Smog, you really need to stop making tanks. Stop making mods. Just go out of business.
Go away.
Right.
This mod right here has been a fucking dream. But I am a Geek Vape fanboy, believe it or not.
I'm beginning to become somewhat that way. I mean, I also like Vandy Vape a lot too. So I mean, like, I'm kind of in that kind. I mean, but they're kind of like in the same genre. It's like it's not so much like a beginner, like company, kind of like Smock is. Smock is definitely like more of a beginner level company. And they make the kits like that. They got the Prince pins and all that jazz. I mean, that's what they're geared for. When you got Geek Vape, there's more of like a niche into it, and also with Vandy Vape, I'd say as well. But I mean, that's just what I kind of get out of it.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we want to talk about beginner. Take a look at the Vape Pen 22 starter kit from Spawn.
Yeah.
$18 fucking, which is not a bad price when you think about it, but when you look at the track record of Smock, it's not good.
No, and I think the major design flaw that I hate about that particular thing is that the tank is built onto the actual. I mean, the tank is the rig. I mean, it's all one piece, and I think that kind of bothers me. I mean, yes, you can take the tank apart, but the base of the tank is actually the mod.
Pretty much, once it stops working, you're not even left with a tank you can use on something else. You are left with nothing but an $18 paperweight.
Yeah, it's very true, and that's. I think that when you don't have, and the bad thing is, see, that would have been something acceptable back when I first started vaping. Like, that was something that was like, because 510 was not exactly the standard at that point. Like, you didn't have.
Yeah, but you had the little vape pens, and I actually bought one in 2014. It was
you had them.
The little Ego style battery.
You had them. It just that 510 wasn't the standard at that point. You had certain companies doing that, but it wasn't like the main thing. It wasn't like standardized yet. You had companies like Volcano that had like very what's that word I'm looking for? Yeah, proprietary, where they had like a snap system where their stuff would snap in, and you couldn't use anything besides their stuff. And then like you had other companies using like the thread pitch was different and everything. They didn't have like it would still be 510, but you had like a coarse thread and then you had a fine thread 510, and then it was just all over the map. So I mean, yes, you had like ones that were 510, and that seemed to be where everybody wanted to go with, and that's why it became standardized, because it was something everybody kind of liked.
Yeah, and then you had the customization options of.
Yeah. exactly.
The
I
vape
mean,
industry has come a long way. Smoke, not
oh
so
yeah.
much.
Well, I mean, like when you came out with the 510, right? I mean, like then the standard at one point was having a 510 connector and then having the external threads for the 510 because it would be protruding because obviously it would be like an ego battery because that was like kind of the standard at the time. So you'd have these things like you can put bigger diameter tanks or whatever have you on your ego batteries, and you had beauty rings and like you can make it like all unified looking, and it was just like something that was kind of coming out at the time. So I mean, like I can see something like that starter kit by Smock there would have been good back then because back then it was more of a like you can get like niche items like that and it was it was just run of the mill and it was fine. But today it's like it just seems so outdated, that kind of like that style. It's like I don't know why anybody would actually kind of even get that kind of thing because it's like you have no way of using anything from it if it goes bad. Once the battery goes bad, it's not like it has you can put a new battery in it. I mean, it's just gone.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. And I'm sure a lot of us. I've had $80, $90 mods zonk out on me.
Oh yeah.
Actually, the $80, $90 mods were, guess what, from Smock. The other one was from Wismac, and that's one of the reasons why I had a big issue with Wismac is because, and it could have been something it could have been a little something I did. Who knows? Dropping the mod. But since I bought my RX Gen 3 and my RX 22700, I haven't had issues with either of those mods.
Yeah. The only thing I had a problem with like Wismac is I know the original Predator. They had that Preston 510. That was kind of a bogus thing. Just a couple different things about them that was this kind of thing. But I think they're kind of working out the bugs a bit. So I mean that's always good. But Smog still comes out with stuff, and I hate bashing them because it's like they have interesting designs that they offer, and I think yeah, T-Prib. I mean even the Alien when it came out. I mean yes, there were sidebar ones, but I mean like the look of it was fantastic until you found out the paint problem, and then you had like some door
the board problems.
Yeah, and the board problems. I mean like. The look of them and everything, you're like, wow, I really kind of want something like that. They look great. It's just that they don't function properly, and that's the problem. Like with the mag here, you have the whole battery tray being weak on the latch. I mean, it's like it was.
Tell them where you got that silicone sleeve.
Oh yeah, I did. I forgot that we haven't mentioned that before. Yeah, I was having that issue, and I actually went on Amazon. Amazon sells them. It's actually it actually mimics all the like writings on it and everything. So like right here it does say Smock and it says the mag, and it has like the 225 watt and all that stuff on the actual like etched in there. You can't really tell because it's like all one color. You can get all different kinds of colors. Like they had like you have like flames. You can even get skulls and all that jazz. But all it is like a rubberized sleeve, and basically what it does is since it kind of covers like the bottom of it like that, it basically fixes the issue where the battery tray would come out. The only problem is now you gotta do this whole thing before you can get the clip out, so it kind of takes away the novelty of it all. But yeah, I got it on Amazon for $9, and you got like all range of colors.
The only downside I see to that, I don't want to talk to you about this, but one of the downsides I do see is that it takes away your pretty rainbow color.
Well, yeah, I mean, like if you have the mod if you just had like the basic black or whatever have you, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be an issue. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. Since I did have something, even if you have like the camo or you had something that had like maybe even you had the skull one and you didn't want you got like just like you couldn't get the they were out of stock of like the one that looked like yours, then you're basically just covering up any design that ever came with. So I mean it is the downside. And number two, it takes away the quick action of the the mag drop, because that was kind of like its whole, like this whole gimmick. I mean, you lose that because of this. But for functionality reasons, it's like you got to. I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Well,
no way around.
I had silicone sleeves before. I had one for my Alien and one for my RX-23. Now there is a con with silicone sleeves because it is silicone. It's kind of insulating, so you don't feel how hot your mod's actually getting, and that is a bad thing because I think one of the
Oh
things
yeah.
that actually fried my RX-23 and my Alien was the fact of how hot it got, and I didn't notice it.
Oh yeah. I mean, like
It'll
I,
trap
I
the heat. Even though there's vent cutouts, it'll trap the heat.
oh, I would imagine it would, and that I mean, like I haven't really gave it a full run yet, which I'll kind of give a review later, probably some other future mod mouth or whatever about like how it kind of runs out right now. I kind of just put it on there right now and
Just
haven't
make your
really got
mod
to
look
mess with it
pretty.
yet too much. Well, I just haven't got to mess with it yet, and I kind of want to get my I got to rebuild my like Kylan because I'm gonna put that on there and then kind of rock it a little bit, but once I get like more of it in detail or whatever, I want to give it more of a review. But like you said, I was thinking about that, just because I know it's silicone's a good insulator. So I mean, like I fear that that would be a problem. I know that the battery is going to obviously, the battery being how I have to kind of got to take the sleeve this way and kind of move it around the edges to even get it off. So it takes away the simplicity of it all. But I mean, the thing is, this is actually nice and textured, so it almost kind of feels like grip tape, really. But I mean, that's the only kind of upside about it, and it does make the mod feel nice, and
I
it's
would like to
definitely more
see somebody
protective.
cut some grip tape for the Smock mod.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Give it the real gun feel. But I think we said all we needed to say.
Oh, absolute.
Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to him. His is S13_the Beast, and hers is Terror Storm. Probably backwards, I don't know. Anyways, guys, this is the Storm Family signing out.
East out.